What is real? What is fake? What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Right here on Gingerdale.
Double sound.
Ooh.
Welcome to Gingerdale. Y'all aren't here because you're probably asleep.
Yeah, hey, don't worry. Don't worry. You'll wake up, you'll watch on the rewatch. Yes.
And ready to talk about Riverdale.
Oh my God, there's so much that we're going to be able to discuss as far as Riverdale and everything that's happening. So there was no big news concerning Riverdale. Everything happened last week and week before. No big news, so let's jump right into it.
But there was a big episode, yeah.
Yes, there was.
And I cannot believe that I feel like every episode of the season is getting better.
Dude, okay,
I don't
you know
understand
what?
how this is happening.
This is what I consider the best season of the show.
Oh, for sure.
Where everyone else is like, they're either up in the air or they're unsure, and then they do a rewatch and they're like, oh, this was a good episode too. This is a good. She keeps saying this is a good episode too. It means probably the season was good, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like it's leveled up. Like season 1 for me was guilty pleasure.
Oh yeah.
And then season 2, I was like, I don't know what's happened, but y'all need to quit. And then this season, it was like they just finally like really like. Kind of like when Gotham got like super wild and they're just like, we found her, this is where we live.
This is where we are,
We're gonna go full force on this.
This is our stride.
Exactly, and that's what Riverdale's doing right now.
And it's very interesting because usually on TV shows, third season is kind of like that curse.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, we just didn't know what we were doing for a moment. Now we figured it out in season 4, if you let us live. They're like, no, we've been trying to get better and better, and this is how we're showing it. Yeah. And I love that. I appreciate that because, you know what, the fans appreciate it, and we love everything you guys are doing.
Yep. So, starting off, this episode was The Great Escape.
Oh,
right?
boy.
All about getting Archie out of jail and out of, Veronica took one look at that, like, underage fight club and just like, I'm going to get you out of there.
That was it. It can't happen anymore.
But at the same time, we had Jughead, who was ready to get the next big quest, right? The next big quest for G&G, and somehow these two events paralleled each other perfectly.
As Jughead said, it's allegory. Party.
Yeah. See, he's not as wired as he said.
Oh my God! I'm trying to stay up here, guys.
Right here,
late night
with you guys.
Riverdale. I'll just wake up now. No,
Dreams.
actually, it drained me. That's how good it was.
Yeah.
No, but so with it, he said allegory. He also said that Riverdale itself is a what did he say?
He said Riverdale's an anagram.
Oh, that's right.
Riverdale's an anagram for the name of the town or the place in the game.
In the game,
which is Eldervire.
Yeah, there you go.
So
I'm like, okay, I get it.
So like it starts off and it's like, oh, this is like a metaphor. You know, I love how the parallels are happening. Like we see visually Cheryl rolling the die, and then you cut to Veronica getting past the guard. But then you realize, it's literal, right?
It is literal at the same time.
There's some magic happening.
But that's kind of interesting because it's like it's a trope that we see in usually films and things like that. If you're ever used to anything Soderbergh does, you're like, oh yeah, it's like, all right, so this is how the heist is gonna go. Then some jazz music plays, and while they're talking, you're seeing it happen.
Yeah.
And it was the same way, but what they chose to do was say, oh, it seems like it's just something that's written, but it's actually happening in reality. Now, with that being the case, do you think Jughead knew everything that was happening and was trying to inform them?
Yeah, I think he knew. Yeah,
right?
Because I mean, what I don't know if it was like because he and Veronica didn't even know about the game. She doesn't even know what's going on with G&G at all. She just comes in like, okay, I don't know what y'all are doing, but we're gonna save Archie now. So it wasn't like they connected on a plan, but he knew every move that her group was going to make.
Right.
And it was like he was really like giving them the luck for it to turn out right. You know, like having his team roll the die. Or, role play or whatever they need to do in order to get the right outcome.
Okay, so if he did know, up to that point, this is where it becomes an issue for me. The connection between the game itself and its players and what happens in real life, and how connected is this world of G&G where he knew to call him the Red Paladin.
Right.
And then the warden, Warden Norton, automatically was like, where's the Red Paladin? You know, like he says it immediately right there. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on. So how much did he know? And then right there, I think it was my telltale that, okay, he's definitely playing the game.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's written, right?
Yes, it's written.
The Red Paladin is like maybe one of the campaigns or something.
Okay.
So maybe they both decided, or like either Jughead realized that Archie was the Red Paladin to someone.
Well, he had to know it when Betty said, well, Veronica's going to try to break him out.
Yeah.
And that's the plan. He was like, genius. That's what I need to help them feel like they're actually doing something that's worth it. So immediately he puts in his head Red Paladin. Yeah. But
I mean, but it sounds like the Gargoyle King has eyes and ears everywhere, right?
It sounds
so
like.
As soon as Jughead decides that that's going to be his quest, is breaking out Archie, maybe that's when Gargoyle King decides Archie needs to die.
I think Gargoyle King already decided it and already told him that because remember the warden tells him this is your last meal.
Well, was that before Jughead decided to break him out, or after Jughead decided to break him out?
I think that was.
If you're awake in the chat, tell us the order of the scenes.
So, I think that was before because when you're thinking about it, remember it's almost right after our title card where they're sitting down and he says they're having that dinner and he says, well, this may be your last one. He's like, well, this is my last one. I'm going to ask you all the questions. Right. Are you this? Are you that? Spill all the tea. When he gets everything, and he gets everything because it's like here goes that evil villain. Oh well, I'm going to twirl my mustache and tell you everything that I've done. Like that.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we got.
In religious allegory, because obviously the game.
Oh my god!
I couldn't believe how deep they went with it. Like even calling it the Judas kiss, right?
Yeah, that was great though. I did love it.
I really loved that.
Because it was either that or you're gonna call him it had to be the Judas kiss because you weren't gonna call him Brutus.
Yeah, Brutus. What?
Because all Brutus stabs in the back.
I see Brutus.
He's not.
I definitely thought that was like Brutus, like brood instead of Judas, and I was like, I guess. No, Brutus. I understand. No, but Archie is definitely less like Caesar.
Yeah, very
and more like Jesus.
Yeah. So. Well, you know what Archie. I will say that he was referred to as the heart. Yeah. So, I mean, it does kind of make sense. Where it's like, he is kind of like the Christ-like figure. But someone else who is more like the Christ-like figure on this episode was Mad Dog.
Who resurrected.
Dude.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay, now going into the whole Mad Dog portion, my thing was, yes, here we go. We got Mad Dog back. I'm so glad because it's like, okay, the black guy wasn't the first to die because he didn't die.
Right, he did not die.
Congratulations.
Thank God.
But the only thing is...
Or thank Gargoyle.
I think that's what we're going to start saying. So where was he? Where was he the entire time? Where they were hiding him out. They had the facility, or the center, as they call it, had only one isolation cell. Yeah. Because I remember it was something they mentioned when they were talking about so many cells, blah, blah, one isolation, one...
He's definitely being held somewhere else. Because,
so where? Yeah.
Because the little fight club is not actually in the prison. There's got to be like some other area. Unless, because everything's been literal so far. Okay. Unless he literally resurrected. Unless they literally killed him and brought him back. Because... Like I said, I think this episode, if anything, this episode told me that there has to be magic. If there's not magic, I'm going to be so mad.
Okay, now I need to know exactly where on the episode for you.
Well, just the fact, just the way that that Jughead's voiceovers were paralleling so exactly to the things that were happening to the point that it seemed like they were controlling them. I was like, there's no way that Jughead can be helping. And he really, he said he was gonna get Archie out. Right. And then he wasn't even fazed by Betty taking his bike, so he was never physically planning on doing anything. Right. His plan was the game. Huh. You know?
I don't, man. I mean, because that's one way, it's definitely the best way to look at it. But
thank you. I do have the best way.
I'm gonna have
what's
to
your less good way?
I'm gonna have to be the advocate for the man who doesn't need to have an advocate. He's the devil. He takes a soul. He doesn't need an advocate. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
Do it.
And say that still for Jughead, his whole goal was, all right, I'm just gonna be the best game master so I can actually meet the Gargoyle King. And I need to be the best game master. I have to motivate them to actually play the game with their all. So he says, let's do it as if we're doing that. But still, he didn't mean it. He didn't mean it literally. Okay. He wasn't caring about that. Okay. His whole thing was just his own personal ascension, no one else's. Right. He wasn't really worried about what's going on with Jughead. He was worried about his ascension so he could meet the Gargoyle. Yes. So
Archie was worried about Archie.
Well, he wasn't worried about freeing Archie. He was just worried about meeting the Gargoyle King and his own ascension.
Yeah. Okay. I think that he knows he's the one that suggested that everything has a real life parallel.
Yes,
right?
very true.
This is actually,
so then, we've been playing the game longer than we ever knew.
Yeah, we've been playing the game longer, and also I think that the other key point is that at the last second. he doesn't know the outcome.
That was okay, and that's where my argument does fall apart, because he didn't know, and they asked, well, then how? What? Yeah. He had nothing, and then we hear the. When that happened, I thought he was gonna do a knowing smile and be like, "Well, here it is, guys."
I know, but he was really like.
But he was shocked too.
Yeah,
so that's where it's kind of like I'm still kind of lost.
Yeah, it's so weird, but at the same time, that was really well done, because I knew that they were manipulating me. Like, I knew that I was being manipulated into worrying that Archie somehow didn't make it, and I was so mad. But I was still like, I feel it. Like, I'm tense.
Oh,
so
my God.
they did a really good job with that.
Oh, it was fantastic. Yeah. It was good. I loved every bit of that. And sorry in the chat, unfortunately, no Kelly tonight. It's because we're on so late. But we had to make sure that we got this episode out for you guys.
It was like physical difficulties.
Yeah.
It was like location difficulties.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We just had to take care of a few things to make sure, because we
Hiram kicked us out of his office.
Yes, that's what really happened, unfortunately. I was going to say, Hiram finally figured out where we were, so...
So here we are.
Yeah. Pretty much in what I like to call
in the bunker, as our producer
we like to call the bunker, a.k.a. the comic book.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is pretty great.
But yeah, so the other thing that really shocked me was in that conversation with the warden, when the warden basically says, you're going to die, where he started talking, again, I thought that was religious, right? I thought he was saying like, oh, yeah. Yes, Hiram Lodge would like you to die, but I answer to a higher
power, right? And it says, he who is in the kingdom, right? And it was just like, when he said that at first, I was like, okay. Immediately I stopped, and I wrote it down in the notes. Is that God is the Gargoyle King? Which one is he talking about? Because he did quote scripture when we first met him, and now he's talking about the Gargoyle King, or he could be. Which one is it? Which one is it? Sure enough, quick and easy, they go ahead and give us the answer. So it's like, okay, all right. So it's the Gargoyle King, and the Gargoyle King is God for you. Yeah.
So it is definitely like a religion to the people they're playing, which I guess is why it always ends in suicide. But we'll talk about that in a second. Because I think that it's important for us to acknowledge and and with respect how Archie and Veronica can always find the time to have sex, no matter what is going on.
You know what? That's what's important about a good relationship.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
they care enough about each other to make sure that they can go the distance when it comes to showing their love. And I say go for it, you guys. Hey, love is strong. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, she was like, we have 20 minutes, so there's time to bone, and then to discuss our plan after that.
She was like, Archie, stop. Let's go to Bone Town first. Then we'll go to Freedom.
He was the one who was like, I don't want to talk right now.
Yeah,
like, okay, fine.
Well,
we'll do
I
it.
Understand. He's like, I've been in jail for so long. I can't take it anymore. So she's like, well, I have to do something. Yeah.
So she did what she had to do.
Yeah.
And I really love that. I just love them. Like, I've already said this. I love them.
My thing is he getting the best of both worlds? Is he like, oh, this is Veronica and also this is kind of Betty because she's blonde? I'm just asking. Is he putting two together?
I don't feel like this is...
putting two together and he's just
I'm pretty sure she took off the wig. I'm pretty sure she took off the wig.
No. When they were...
oh, really? When he picked her up,
I thought she was.
Maybe. But either way, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be
he's like, no.
I know that, like, fandoms thrive on ship wars.
Right.
And I don't want to be, like, a buzzkill to anyone.
Okay.
But I do feel like Riverdale promoted the idea of ship musical chairs way more than it has ever actually done it.
Ooh, yes.
Like, as soon as Archie realized that Veronica was an option, has never wavered from Veronica.
Well, only because Veronica was ready to... I'm not. And no. Because honestly, he was ready. He was ready for sex, and he knew that Veronica was also. And he was like, "Well, this is one of the big things that I'm interested in." It was. Let's be honest. That's what he was interested in. And you can kind of tell Betty was just like, maybe not. So he was I'm gonna go for that one.
Let's be honest. He wasn't into Betty ever. Like,
no, he wasn't.
She was like, "I love you," and he was like, "I love you like a friend."
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. He was like, "Oh, don't we live next door to each other?" Hey, I have my shirt on. Just look at me real quick. That's all, though. Don't ever talk to me. Don't talk.
You can look, but you can't touch.
She was like, "Hi." He's like, "Don't wave at me, strange girl."
No, like he really respects her as a friend, but like, there's never been,
Yeah.
And they give it to you when it's like in the past, right? They gave it to you in the past.
Yeah.
And they'll like give it to you in that one off, like that one time where she kissed him, and then he was like, "Let's never talk about this again."
Oh yeah.
And let me like go prostrate myself before Veronica for several episodes.
It was like, hey, Veronica, I'm going to take off this wet shirt.
Right. And at the same time, Betty and Jughead has been pretty, it's been pretty stable.
Oh, yeah. They've gone to Bone Town a few times.
Certainly from Betty's perspective. Jughead had like 3 seconds of Tony, but otherwise.
She doesn't even care.
She doesn't even care. Tony doesn't.
That's in the past.
Yeah.
And
so anyway,
look where Tony's
basically,
at.
I think that Riverdale has been way more stable with ships than it gets credit for.
I agree. I agree. And that's a good thing. And one of the relationships that I'm very interested in still is Veronica and her father. But since I am speaking about them.
Yes.
And we're talking about a lot of other people, their relationships, and how they had time.
Yes.
For to go to Bone Town.
Yes, they have time to go to Bone Town, so we have time to do tardy, absent, truant.
Boom!
Which this may be the first time that we've said it in the right order.
Yes.
I'm very proud of us.
Oh my God, we're growing.
Who was tardy this week?
Oh, please. Well,
yep. Hermione.
There you go.
Hermione Lodge came in to have a very powerful scene that underlined, speaking of ships, the real love triangle of the show.
I'm gonna argue with you here.
Argue me?
I don't feel it was powerful. Honestly, I don't. I think it was just, here I am. I'm just here to chastise you, and I dropped something powerful, and that's the only thing I did.
Right. She dropped the powerful line. That's true.
That's the only thing.
True.
Well, tell the line. You got to tell them.
Oh yeah.
She
now I'm gonna flub it. Oh my God. No. She was like, both of you are so obsessed with Archie that you are destroying our family.
There you go.
Both of your obsessions with Archie is what's going to destroy this family.
And you said, before we even started, you said what she did right there was pointing out what?
That's the real love triangle of the show?
There you go.
That's like if you were concerned about Betty and Veronica, but it's really Veronica and Hiram, right?
That's it.
It's like, is love more powerful than hate?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Well, Hiram loves to hate him,
yeah,
and she loves to love him.
Right.
So it's just love still going around. It's a love triangle. It's just really awkward.
Yes.
And it's the War of the Roses in that house. And my question, and here goes the question I did have and I wrote down, which was, okay, Veronica says ultimately, I'm going to get him out of there and I'm going to put you in the big house that you helped build. That's what she says. When it comes down to it, do you think Veronica has the gall, the unmitigated gall, to pull the trigger and actually snitch on her father?
I hope she does. I mean, I'm sure that because she's so gung-ho about it now, at that very last second, it'll be like, no, I can't do it, he's my dad,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I feel is going to happen.
I think she's going to get so close up to it, then there's going to be a moment where all she has to do is officer, blah, 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 blah. And she's going to be like, huh? And just sit there.
She won't do it because she remembers her dad's Mark Consuelos and they don't want him off the show. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
Dad
is bringing so many people to that show. And if you guys don't believe it, check out his guns. Dude, his first moment in this episode.
Giving Archie run for his money.
Dude just shows up it's so invigorating working out. What are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
God.
Who else? What other dad was tardy, though, this week? We had FP.
There you go.
Also, he showed up for that one scene to be like, yeah, I played the game. What about it?
Yeah. And then he's like, Alice snitched up.
And when Jughead was like, well, what's your side of the story, Dad? Because he was like, oh, yeah, this is just Alice's version. Which remember we talked about an unreliable narrator.
Yep.
And I was like, can we have a whole part 2 episode where we get
now we get
version?
Somebody else's?
Because I think it's time.
That's what we would love. If we can get a moment where FP goes ahead and says, well, this is how I remember it. And then we get to match them up. That's what I would love, but we're never going to get it.
I see you guys asking great questions in the chat, and I just want to let you guys know to feel free to, not for free, ask the questions, and we'll answer them.
Yeah, because right now, as you guys kind of see, as we're going and we're trying to make sure that we hit particular points so we can truly get a discussion going, sometimes everything else is going fast, just like the chat. So to slow it down and to highlight what you had to say, use Super Chat. It will make sure that we'll be able to see it, we'll direct our attention to it, and we'll be able to reference it.
And it'll be beautiful. But back to our tardy absent time.
Yes.
Absent were the rest of the parents, pretty much.
Oh, boy.
For once, Alice was not stealing the show.
Yeah.
She was not around to steal the show.
That's true. So, well, we had a heavy Alice episode recently, so they were like, look, you can have a day off.
Exactly.
So she's like, thank
God.
God.
To sleep.
Yeah,
Go to sleep, Madchen.
And
I've
got to deal with floating babies.
Yeah, exactly. She's off hanging out with the farm, I guess.
Yeah, she's like, I'm sorry, I can't be here today. I've got to go float some more babies. So it's a lot of work.
Yep. And then we had Archie's father,
who
was apparently not that concerned with his son being in prison.
Not at all. I don't know what he is doing right now. I think he is living his best life. Not having to worry about his kid.
He doesn't have his wife.
He doesn't have his wife. He doesn't have to worry about his kid. He's gallivanting around town. Yeah. He's probably hanging out with Hermione, which is not seeing it yet.
Oh, that's right. That's probably what she was doing the rest of the episode. You were so smart. And you really got it all going on in there.
Think about it. Think about it.
And then for our truant section,
oh boy.
People who really kicked off this season with some wild and crazy antics have not been around to see it through.
At all.
We've got Ethel, who ever since her horrifying kiss with Jughead has just kind of been hanging out in the shadows with the Gargoyle King.
I think she's just in the hospital still talking to the Gargoyle King.
Exactly.
She's not even there anymore. She's
that's
just
right.
like, yes, okay. And they're just
she did what he wanted, and then...
Yeah, and
I get it.
They're just kind of like, I'm not going to move her. You're going to move her? No, I'm not going to move her. All right, fine. Or at least just walk past the room every day.
And then, of course, Evelyn Evernever, who has not felt like giving anyone seizures.
That's right, the seizure queen.
The last few weeks.
The seizure queen, as I call her. She hasn't walked around, or the seizure fairy. She walks around with sprinkling it, and you get
seizure dust.
You're like, I got one.
Oh my God.
You know?
So, and it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Yeah, it is. It is. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, she ran out of the dust.
Yeah.
So she has to go back. So she's probably hanging out with Alice right now.
Oh, there you go.
That's
right. They're hanging out.
And you can only get it apparently when a baby floats. That's what I've heard.
That's what you heard.
That's what I heard. When a baby floats, you get seizure
dust. And it can't
dust.
be the same baby.
No, it can't be the same baby.
You got to find another baby.
Exactly.
That's right. They're on the search.
It's kind of rare. It's kind of rare.
But speaking of blessings, we were also blessed this episode with actual Choni scenes and even a kiss. Yeah, it was so much fun watching them.
Pum,
yeah,
pum, pum. My heart beats for them.
Yes, I love them, and they almost never get anything. But when they do, it's just they feel so natural.
Yeah,
you know, they're just really incorporated. Well, they're not incorporated real well because they don't get enough. But the actresses incorporate those little touches, or like those little like moments in the background, like when you had to have shooting the can off of Jughead's.
Well, she says, remember, they were like, we were having something. She said something like alone time, essentially. Yeah. Or whatever.
They were like, we're having a rendezvous, and it was interrupted.
Yeah.
Our rendezvous was
arrow. Yeah. And if I was just I would have lost an eye.
Yeah. I would have liked to see that rendezvous, but it's just always fun to see, you get this little hints of in the background. And I really liked how invested they were in the outcome of the G&G game.
Yes, yes.
And then the kiss to celebrate the success.
It was so cool though. Like, so this is what the serpents do now. They hang around in bunkers and play games instead of being the gang that was terrorizing the South Side.
It's almost more productive.
Yes.
But then you're like, wait a second, this game ends with people killing themselves or each other with blue lips.
But I doubt they are going to do that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
So hopefully not.
The one whose name you don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. What is God? I thought they would say his name today on this episode, and I was waiting. Like, I'm gonna write it down.
Right? Was it Tall Boy?
No, Tall Boy. Tall Boy is the guy that has like the.
All right, never mind. It's fine. It doesn't matter.
And the Tall Boy is a
our
snitch.
least favorite serpent will probably.
Is he our least? I know he got stabbed and he's okay now, and that's what I know. So I don't know if he's
based
my
on
least.
the fact that I don't care about him.
Okay, well then,
favorite.
He's our least favorite. That is true. You have to pick one that's.
But it is fun to see like them like throw a tantrum over the fact that they couldn't play the game when they wanted to play.
I loved it. Yeah. How Sweepy, and he was like, "Oh, really, Sweepy? Yeah. Oh, you want to prove something?"
Like, oh, you want to be game
master?
Shoot at my
head. Shoot at my head. That will show everyone. I am a big man. Shoot at my head.
Like, I did not understand what was going on.
I just...
look, it's a super chat from my favorite, Toku Kid.
Love you, Toku Kid. Toku Kid says, do y'all think we'll get the Jabberjaw crew in the show?
Will we?
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, because I was shocked that we actually got the Ghoulies. So, yes. I expected, because we even got hot dogs so far.
That's true.
So how are we not going to get the
They've been hitting all those big points.
Exactly. And
Fangs!
There you go. There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
Anyway, sorry, but yes, we've been hitting all the big points.
I forgot. Fangs.
He's not my least favorite. I'm sorry, I take it back.
So, speaking of names that we trying to forgot, Joaquin.
Okay, that's right. Joaquin was Judas.
Oh, man. And, okay, so Joaquin shows up. And at the very beginning of the episode, we had the moment where they tried to make their horrible, horrible escape.
Yes.
That was the worst thing ever.
When the rubber bullets started shooting them, for a split second, I thought they were real. And I was like, what has just happened?
No. I was like, we're not going to go down this path of just random youth killed today. And blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, we are not doing that. So I was like, I knew it had to be rubber bullets.
Like, it only took a second, and then I saw one hit, and I was like, oh, okay, we're good.
I really thought they were going to have beanbag guns.
But yeah. But yeah, Joaquin was like a little traitor. He's a little traitor. And for the game.
So that's the thing. So he also said, well, if I do this, I get my ascension.
Yeah.
So it was just like, whoa, so you're a follower too. You're in that church. But once again, we did not get the full-on Shoney kiss we wanted, but we still had time to make sure we got a kiss from Joaquin and Archie. And my thing is right there, I'm kind of like, are we afraid of women kissing on the show or what?
Yeah.
Because everyone's asking for it, but then again, I'm like, that's kind of progressive. Let's objectify men and not objectify women. We're used to doing it so much.
Bit.
I think that may be some of the worry, and they're kind of like, I'm not getting Me Too, let the men kiss. Like,
but the men kissed as part of the ploy, right?
Yeah, as part of the ploy.
I mean, obviously we've seen Kevin kiss plenty of people, so that's not the case.
Yeah, that's
not
very
the
true.
Issue.
Very
but
true.
But yeah, I don't know, and it can't be like I know it's not an actress issue, because like you'd be like, oh, maybe the actors don't want it because they love Tony and they're all about that.
They're all about it. So I don't know what it is. I guess it's just a choice.
And the
they
fans
have.
are all about it too. So it really doesn't. I don't know. I really.
That could be it. I was like, they're holding back, and they're just like, we're gonna wait for the right moment.
It's like teasing too much, especially when you compare to like how much Bughead used to get and how much Archie's still getting.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Because like obviously, fan, you could tease those fans too, but you don't.
Man.
So.
But it was poetic with the kiss.
Yeah, it was
interesting because it was like, okay, great, here he goes, and he said it. Then the Judas kiss, and we see it, and then the stabbing.
Yes.
And it was just like, whoa, like, okay, so that's supposed to bring him down a notch.
Yeah.
Like, his power gauge goes down. Yeah. So
but
it was like,
thankfully Mad Dog saved the day. Mad Dog is the only inmate that I claim.
Yeah.
He is my favorite. Love of my life.
Yes. Well, Baby Tooth was mentioned on this episode.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey. Shout out to Baby Tooth. I love him and M still.
Yeah. And yet, Joaquin's betrayal does not seem to have endeared him less to Kevin.
Oh, no,
no. I feel like Kevin's about to drop Moose, who has been missing anyway. He's truant, too. So, and maybe go after Joaquin and try to save him.
Well, see, that was the thing. When Joaquin was running, I mean, I get it. So, essentially what happened was, you did this, I'm going to let you go. So, that's what happened. Joaquin's running for his freedom. But where was he going? Because in that area, my thing was, the warden said at one moment, you know where this thing goes. Find him, catch him. So the pipe or whatever, and then we see Joaquin running past where it is, and Kevin goes ahead and talks to him, and he's like, "Oh no, you shouldn't be here." It's like, so something's in that area. That's my question, and I want to know exactly what it was. But I think it was a meeting place for the Gargoyle King, or something that everyone else meets up and they do something there.
Yeah, I mean that might be it. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I just wondered where he was going. That's all. That's all. And then Kevin said he lost him, so I was like, oh well.
Right. But and where Joaquin is going, like, didn't the warden mention that like the ones that escape, or like when they escape, they can go to the mines? I can't remember what the rest of it was. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. I just remember that I heard mines, and I was like, Sabrina?
Oh,
is it the same mines?
Is it finally? Is it happening? Is it finally happening?
Exactly. Because I'm waiting for this.
You're waiting for your mix. You're waiting for your connection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't even know. We don't even know
on the way to Greendale.
It could be actually in Greendale. We don't know.
Who knows?
No one knows yet.
But yeah, so I'm hoping that we're eventually going to see, a little bit of crossover there.
Yeah.
Just because, again, Gargoyle King's got to be magic, and this weird like evil religion that makes you want to die. Sounds like Satanism to me.
Yeah, kind of close. It could be that the mortals got it kind of mixed up, and that's just what happened.
Right.
Which would make sense, because they're like, well, they're mortals, they're idiots.
Well, no, because a religious cult is the only way that I can see this many people buying into suicide as
an option,
as the option of like ascension or what, like it's either you lose and therefore you're contractually obligated to kill yourself because you're a failure, right? Which is still that's still kind of religious, right? Like to feel bound by that rule, or that is the ascension. Like, you've done your duty. Thank you for your work.
Now
take
ascend.
This and go.
Yeah, yes. Now ascend, which is here's your death.
Yeah.
Little babies are ascending. I'm telling you,
my
man.
God.
I'm just telling you.
Oh my God.
Well, no, they're not actually.
They're literally
they're
ascending.
suspended.
They're suspending.
They're not ascended.
Suspending.
They're not ascending.
Ascending.
They're just suspending. So that's fine.
But yeah, but that brings me to the question now, like, because as soon as Jughead suggested that the Gargoyle King could be the warden, right? The warden.
I knew it wasn't.
Yeah,
I
of course
knew
it wasn't. It wasn't. But
he let us know when he said he was serving someone higher.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So he's so much more powerful, you know, like it's someone, if it's a real person, like if it's a literal being in Riverdale,
Right.
it's like the person that owns all of Riverdale.
It's not Mark Consuelos.
That was my first, why are you taking this from me?
I know what you're saying, man. But I'm just telling you, it's definitely not.
Why not?
Now, okay, because the thing is, and they did it very smart. They placed him in the prison on the night where Archie was planning to be murdered. And
Right.
then also, before that, the warden said, oh, no, I answer to someone higher.
Right.
So that automatically means that it's not
Unless he doesn't
the
know
guy
who it
who's paying.
is.
Unless he doesn't know who it is, but it would be interesting because, yes, Marcus Spoilos did play it as a kid, so
Yeah.
then he figures out everything
Yeah.
and continues to build the legend
Right.
of the Gargoyle
Right.
King.
But he would
this
never
be
dress
so much-
up in that
There
Gargoyle
you
King
go.
outfit. That's
There you go.
true.
We
It's
know
not
the
him
way
in that
he is.
outfit. Yeah.
He's like, no, I have
Yeah.
someone else do the dirty work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he'd have to still be able to remember the mythos and say, oh, no, it has to look this way, blah, blah, yada, yada. I just don't feel that he would believe in that level of mysticism.
Okay.
I don't
accept
think
that. I
he
accept that.
would.
So
but,
who do you think could be the Gargoyle King then? And who do you guys think could be the Gargoyle King?
I mean, that's the big question.
Yeah.
That's the big question we always want to know.
Yeah.
What do you guys think as far as who could be the Gargoyle King? If you have names, ideas, start throwing them out.
And there's like so many questions, like how does the farm play into it? Like it's
There
been a
you
couple
go.
weeks
Okay,
now.
so now
Are we getting?
Now that's where I'm like, oh, I want to bring it on back.
Taking
So
it next.
okay, so the farm. I'm thinking still once again. It's Ever Never because we didn't get the resurgence of everything with the game until Ever Never shows up. Ever Never, we still need to find out who was he back then. So this way we can find out who he is now. We'll get there when they finally reveal that they've casted him. Until then, and we know they've already wrapped. So until we figure out exactly who Ever Never is, we won't know who the Gargoyle King is.
Right.
That's my answer.
Okay.
I think the Gargoyle King and Ever Never.
That's right, because maybe it's Kelly Ripa.
Oh, because she is gonna be the.
The
And I would love that because the whole Gargoyle King, and she's like, oh no, I just play on the word of king. King just actually means the one in charge. Blah blah.
That reminds you of the Magicians.
Yes,
the greatest show of all time, where she was like, "I'm the king. I can call myself whatever I want to."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be bad,
Yeah.
and I would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Because you kind of see it in this picture. I'm still looking at. Last time I checked, that book is floating. That book is not like. Is it laying on something? It's on a stand.
Oh, it's on a stand.
Dang it!
Yeah, it's on a stand. You ruined it.
But what page is it open on? Look at that.
Yeah, that's true.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It could be. She could be Ever Never for all I know.
She could. That was
Who
the thing.
knows?
Maybe she's Ever Never. Maybe,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Nah,
We
she's
don't
not
know.
Ever Never. She's the mistress. But she could be also the one who is running the Gargoyle King stuff.
Right.
She could be Ever Never's wife because she's just a mistress.
That's true.
Who
Exactly.
knows?
She can be his mistress and Ever Never's wife and
exactly.
connect those two worlds, right? The material power of the Lodges with the mystical power of the Ever Nevers.
Oh,
bridging that gap.
Think about it.
Bridging
Brings
that
it
gap.
all together. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, who else? What else do you have? You have everything right there in the palm of your hands. Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, like, is there, like, who else, if it's a person, who else could it be? Because I got nothing.
Okay. Oh, now someone does say something interesting. Reggie's dad.
Yeah.
That's why he gets a black eye. I don't think so. We've seen Reggie's dad, and also I want to point out something concerning Reggie's dad. How okay and nonchalant are we of the fact that Reggie is suffering abuse at the hands
That
of his
was
father?
so upsetting. Yeah,
That
especially
was,
because he's such a non-entity as a character.
Yes,
that it's just
and-
kind of like, look, there's this kid getting abused.
Yeah,
Moving on.
it was just in passing too, like
Yeah.
in the way they did it. They were like, "Oh yeah, like when I saw him with the shades on, I was like, oh, his dad gave him one. I know it. Takes off the glasses, says, yeah, well, this is what my dad did. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
just that's all. It wasn't, oh my God, Reggie, we
Yeah,
need to
like
talk to you,"
they
or
don't care
something.
about Reggie at all.
No, they don't.
Dude is risking his ass to go
Yes.
save Archie, and no one cares about Reggie.
No one can care about him. Hey guys, Reggie needs some intervention.
Yeah.
Someone needs to get Reggie out of that house.
Yeah.
Seriously, or something. Report his father.
But that being
man.
said, I don't think it would be his dad, just because, like, again, like you said, like, temperament-wise. Like, the Gargoyle King's not
Exactly.
going to punch his son.
Oh,
in
no.
the
Because that
face.
makes
He's
it
gonna-
too easy for
yeah.
people to be like, wait a
He's
minute.
going to go to him as a little tree person and be like, Kill yourself.
Yeah, he's gonna show. He knows what his son freaks out about. Yeah. His son wants to be able to be good enough to be accepted by his father. So he'd play on that if he's a Gargoyle King. I mean, he's pretty smart. If he can get these other kids, these geniuses, and everyone else to follow and do exactly what he wants, I think he knows how to manipulate his own son. Yeah. So I don't think it's Reggie's dad. No. I'm sorry to debunk it, but I did like the idea. Yes. But that's how I'm debunking it. I'm sorry. All
right. Now, if it's not a person,
okay,
like if it really is like a mystical being or like a witch or something, you know, like I don't know, like.
Okay.
I don't know.
Once again, I said I would love it if it's actually Sabrina's aunt's boyfriend. That dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I just would love that, but it's not going to happen. But that would be great to bring everything together, guys.
It's demonic. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's a demon. Yeah. It's a demon. Yeah. Oh, my God. You heard about they're suing Sabrina.
Oh, my God, yeah. The Church of Satan is...
The Temple of
Satan.
The Temple of Satan is suing over, like, it's not plagiarism, but, you know, like, copying.
Well, right? Actually taking their statue. And it definitely looks... like the statue, there's just a few things that are different. Yeah. The children are, I think, kind of like the way they're... Yeah. Right? It's like the children are, like, too close on theirs versus the other one. That's what people... Like, you can see the differences that way, that's it. But I was like... but they're there.
It's
and everything is there.
There's no way that they just came up with that
everything. So I was just like, wow, okay. But they were really accurate on that show. Yeah, like, for everything they did.
I guess, what would have been the right way to do it? Like, you go to ask them and then you, like, pay them to use it or whatever? Is that the right way?
Hey, look, we're not really painting Satan in a bad light. Well, what they should have said, because you know, there's scripture that says Satan comes as the being of light. You know, he used to be an angel, blah, blah, yada, yada. If they would have called him the Lord of Lights instead of the Dark Lord, that would have been dope.
That's true.
That would have been dope. Yeah. I think that's what they should have done.
The Dark Lord just gives me Voldemort.
Yeah, because automatically, and you're like, and he's so evil. But you guys think Satan is one of the best things ever. So then call him the Lord of Light instead of the Dark Lord. Yeah. That would have been cool. Because then you could talk about him in public, and they're like, oh, they're just talking about God. You're like, sure, not your God, because as they called him, he's the false God in theirs. Right. So I'm just saying, do things like that, and then go to the Temple of Satan.
But if there's some like demon or ghoul or whatever that isn't necessarily like important on Sabrina, but like connects back to that world, I feel, because I don't know, I feel like the Gargoyle King is just like, can there really be a person in there? Can they really get in the places they're getting? Like, is it a mass hallucination? Know. Someone's obviously pulling the strings. Like, a person has to, like a person had to make the G&G book.
Yes, very true, very true.
But we've already seen the Gargoyle King has plenty of human minions who could be doing that. So.
That was very interesting how he said it only exists here in Riverdale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't find it online, can't go anywhere.
And that was definitely brand new information.
Yes, and with that, now comes the question where it says, second edition. If someone's working so hard to make a game that's only there in Riverdale and doesn't get anywhere else, they really want to take the time to be like, oh, a little second edition, make sure everyone knows I put this out twice. Yeah. Like, does that really matter? Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm kind of like, you got to think about your props.
That's
I don't know,
true.
in my opinion.
I got you.
I would have never. You
thought that was a bit of a mistake.
Yeah, but the reason they did it is so this way we had an answer as to, wait a minute, I thought Alice destroyed her copy and blah, blah, yada, yada.
So this is the new version of it.
It has to be a new version.
Pieced together from someone who remembers the old version.
Second edition, blah, blah.
And
it just feels very Milton Bradley when it's all second edition.
Using new props or people as props, right?
Exactly.
Like the Red Paladin being Archie.
There you go. Yeah, and it's like an expansion pack, apparently.
Yeah.
So, and did you see the trailer?
I did. I watched the trailer.
And well, now we know what that means as far as the room on Archie, because that's something we had to talk about too.
Sacrifice, right?
Dude, sacrifice. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I knew when I saw him taking the brand, I was like, wait, why are you branding him if you're saying he's gonna die? Like, what would be the point of that? Mm-hmm. So I knew something was going on that was deeper or bigger. Mm-hmm. And then, sure enough, when they say, okay, yeah, it means that, I was like, okay, I get it. Yeah. I get it.
Wasn't it a little bit, I don't know, in a way it was a little bit suspicious to me when Betty got the warden to back off with Mace. She was like, I'm gonna mace you.
Yeah.
And he was just like backed off immediately, even though he had like backup.
Well, but you have to remember, all they have rubber bullets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure they could rubber bullet her as
fast
that
would
as
hurt.
They could mace
that
them.
Would definitely
so,
hurt.
Like,
but the thing is, even though they had it ready, what would have gave them the right to actually fire upon her? That would have been a big issue.
Oh,
and
really?
then everyone would have
I was about to
been
ask,
like,
is
well,
anything a big issue?
everyone's got, but come on.
But
It's
yes,
like,
yes.
wow, me, and then they can go anywhere with it. Like, oh, it was a hate crime because Kevin was involved. Now everybody's in trouble,
there you
and
go.
everyone's
There you
going
go.
right to the center
Yeah,
themselves.
because I was just wondering if it was like maybe Archie obviously Warden was upset about it, but maybe Gargoyle King did want Archie to escape. You know, like you're saying, with the
think so.
branding. So it's like
I think so. There's something that has to go on. It's all still part of the Gargoyle King's plan, and that's why Archie had to escape. And also, there needed to be a level of sacrifice for not doing what you were supposed to do. So that's why he had to kill himself. Because that was interesting. I'm like, poor Warden. Because you didn't get to do it, you had to kill yourself.
Yep.
But that could be him ascending. I don't know. We don't know what happens when someone actually does ascend. We haven't had that answered yet.
Nope.
So
no one's
that's
ascended
why,
unless they have, and they're just dead now.
Yeah, that could be it. So we don't know. They have to tell us exactly what ascension is. So that's why I'm still waiting for to find out that and what's the big thing or the big whoop concerning ascension.
Right.
Because what's so great about it?
I do have to give Jughead a shout out this episode, just because I thought he was full on crazy at the start of this episode. I was like, Jughead has lost his marbles. This is it. He is done for. But then, as the episode goes on, you see that he's right about everything.
Oh,
right?
That's very true.
You're like, no, you're
very
right.
True.
Everything is part of the game.
Man.
Oh my God.
You know what? You know what? Also, I did notice with Jughead too, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, this is just a small little thing, but it's for the fans. Did you see his T-shirt?
No, I did not.
Had the S.
Oh.
Finally, we get him wearing exactly what we usually get to see in the comic.
That's so
He had his
fun.
crown, even
Yeah, he
though
had
it's
his
a
crown,
new
he had his
one,
S.
and now he had the S.
I love that.
And it was like he's coming into his own of actually being the Jughead that we want, that we love, that we remember. So it's like, this is great.
Yeah.
And I can't say anything more about it, but thank you guys.
Yeah.
Really.
Next week, just give him a plate of like 6 burgers, and then
Yeah. Well, I mean, but he did the promo thing already.
Yeah.
We're fine with it. I always want Carl's Jr. after, so it's fine. I mean, he's doing great.
Yeah.
And everything is good about it. I just still want to know who the Gargoyle King is. I'm sorry, it's on my mind.
I know. I mean, I
on
just
my
want the
mind.
answers now. And how many episodes? It's a full season, right? So it's going to be 22 episodes?
we are going kind of far. How many episodes are we in right now?
We're 5 episodes in. We're only 5 episodes in.
Oh, wow.
And it feels like we've gone.
It feels like we're at already 15.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, dang, man.
Yeah,
I'm like, they're going to ramp up here.
If the whole season's going to be Gargoyle King, like, we got a lot of losses ahead of us.
I am ready if the whole season is Gargoyle King, if you guys can tell it properly.
Yeah.
Because 22 episodes of you trying to tell me a story.
Yeah, we don't want to get lost along the way. Lost in the forest.
It can happen.
Yeah.
And if it does, then I feel where are we going to suffer as far as the story. And that's my worry. So maybe they'll do well. Maybe they'll do well not to give us that problem. I see in the chat right now, Toku Kid says, do you think Riverdale would get to... would get two out there to get canceled for alienating fans, maybe because, Archie is getting...
Our fans,
We're
is
fans?
anyone
Are
feeling
they?
alienated right now?
I don't know. Well, I mean, like Jay Party says for him, so is Fangs gay or what? Riverdale is confusing me. Him and Midge had a little same thing, blah, 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 blah. Well, I think more for that, I think they're just going with sexuality being fluid for
exactly.
some characters.
Like Fangs is
so Fangs like,
He's
well,
gonna
I
do
like,
Fangs.
I like guys, I like girls.
Yeah.
Fangs me.
But in terms
big
of
deal.
alienating fans, like, I think it is possible that if Riverdale got, like, too weird for people to follow, then it could lose... It's not ratings that are the issue, but, like, that fan engagement. Right?
Yeah, and I
what
think...
Riverdale's got in spades is, like, the most talked about show. The water cooler show.
It is, and the reason, it's because right now they have a formula that works. They get up to the edge of whatever a topic may be, as far as well, witchcraft, and are we getting into that whole thing? We're gonna get right up to the edge, and we're just gonna look now. We're not gonna jump. We're just gonna look down. And just by that alone, fans are like, "That's good enough for me." That's good enough, and I love it. I love it because I'm on the edge of my seat, and then they do that for everything.
Yeah, and then there's
They've
just
done
like the self-awareness of how ridiculous they're being. Like you can tell, like they say it with like a deadpan straight face.
Oh yeah, I mean last season when we had the Black Hood, and we were just like, oh, we're done with the Black Hood. Then Bravo was giving me who the Black Hood was. I loved it at the end. I'm sorry. People may have hated it, but I love the fact that it was like this guy that we saw at the very beginning of the show, who we were like, we're always making jokes about. Oh, he wasn't somebody to make jokes about. He's a murderer.
He's a murderer.
And he's a cold-blooded murderer. And he feels that he's right in what he did.
Right.
So that makes him even far more dangerous because he would kill anyone.
Right.
Probably even including his daughter. So it was like, yeah, I'm just saying, who knows?
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that they like to mess with, the fanatical kind of choices people make on this show. And kind of telling you, are they really a bad guy or are they a victim of circumstance? And I feel that that's probably what they're trying to do with the whole Church of the Gargoyle King.
Yeah.
Are they bad people? Or are they victims of circumstance because this is what they chose to believe?
Yeah. I mean, in a way that parallels thematically with Sabrina, too.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it does. It goes very much, very much so. Because I mean, you have the whole dark church.
Yeah, and all kinds of fanaticism can lead to huge mistakes. It can lead to
the feast of feasts.
Yeah. But
I'm just saying it's true.
But yeah,
it's true.
As for if the show had to get rid of main cast, like the main cast, I think that would be something that could hurt the show. Like if Archie or Jughead or Betty or Veronica, like those are really the only four that would be like
P.S.
losing one of them.
It's never gonna happen until somebody has a contract dispute.
Right, exactly.
It's not gonna happen.
Like they would never get rid of them willingly.
Nope.
So that person to like buy out their contract.
Yeah,
or,
it's
whatever.
gonna be like that. Where they're like, oh, I'm ready. I'm gonna try to pull a 90210.
And they're stuck there for like 6 seasons, right?
Yeah,
6 or 7 seasons.
I'm saying Luke Perry's gonna be like, don't do it. You'll never recover.
Yeah, right. You don't want to do that.
You have to wait almost 20 years until some show comes on and they remember that you were special back then, and then come back and then realize that your hair isn't as high as it was back then.
I mean, like honestly, that's the thing. Like, I will say this is kind of a little bit off topic, but like a lot of fans always think that like, oh, my fave is bigger than this show, or like they're better than this show, like they could definitely make it on their own. But like 9 times out of 10, unless you're Blake Lively, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, come on, guys. We've all seen Power. No, we haven't. No one has. But it's true. It's like that's what happens. Yeah. You think someone's bigger and better than the show, then they leave and you never hear from them again.
Exactly. So it's better to like write that out.
Yeah.
Make that money.
Oh
get
yeah.
that paycheck.
Make the money, be happy about it, and let it ride out until the show goes like almost off to obscurity and then disappear.
Right. Exactly.
Leave from the show then. Figure out what Priestley did for 90210. Don't take the other people's ideas.
Right.
You know? I mean, I'm telling you, I know Luke Perry's just looking there and he's like, man, just guys.
Why are you ragging on Luke Perry?
No, because he's smart.
An icon.
Because he's smart.
Okay,
and he's telling them like, just stay here and do the show.
True.
And
he's like,
if you ever get a chance, if you ever get a chance, do a race. If you ever get a chance, do a racing episode. And if you do, happen to have this guy named Rose Sahibi show up just for that episode, and that's what you want to have happen. P.S. Guys, the whole reason I did this was just to remind you that Ro was on an episode of 90210.
That's amazing.
That's it.
That's amazing.
That's all I did it for. That's all I did it for. Shout out to you,
I
Ro.
didn't even know that.
Yes, he was on there. He was on Sliders. Ro was amazing.
Oh wow!
If you guys have not seen, there he is. Look at him.
A whole new
Look at him.
Wow.
If you guys have not seen his spotlight, I mean, watch it. You're gonna kind of deal with some of the sound kind of acting up for a bit, but trust me, the stories, the anecdotes, the history of them. Listen to it like a podcast, because that's gonna be the best part. You will enjoy it. You'll learn so much about Ro and some of the beginning moments of hashtag right there. So, look, I just made a promotion for something.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
That was
really well done.
I should
it was
do
perfectly
that
placed.
I will. I think I'm going to read copy from now on. That's all I do. But, my gosh, I think have we covered everything? Is there anything else that you want to spotlight?
Let me see. Is there anything else that I want to spotlight? I'm trying to think.
And while we are thinking about that, guys, start to figure out how many ginger snaps you're going to get.
Oh, that's right. With the ginger snaps.
That's right.
Okay, well, I just want to say that I thought it was really cool that like this episode really proved that Veronica and Jughead are like the brains of their respective operations.
Oh, yes.
I really like seeing them both like large and in charge.
Oh man. Bravo. That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. There's more reasons to like Veronica, guys.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
ginger snaps for both of you.
Yes. Congratulations.
Yeah, and like, where one of them falters, the other one can pick up the pace, whether it's in the physical realm or the metaphysical realm.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it. There's so much. This episode did have a lot. And I just, let me see. Oh, whoa, hold on. I got something here.
That's a thing.
What if at the end of the series, they close the comic book as if the chapters were comics?
That would be pretty cool.
All
Like a
ends,
Gwenpool
it's
situation.
Like, where it's like it just ends with boom, and it's just all.
And it'd be
been
like
in the comic
Jughead
book.
coming out of the comic and be like, actually, I wrote this.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it would be like. It would all close.
I wrote this at lunch break.
Yes, exactly.
So
I would love that. I would love that.
So
That
we're
wouldn't
doing
be bad.
out of 5 ginger
We're doing
snaps?
yeah, we'll do out of 5 ginger snaps.
Well, Toku Kid says 2 out of 5. Toku Kid's not loving it. Oh.
Toku Kid, wow.
I
Riverdale
understand
is
everything
losing me more, but I like Jughead stuff.
Aw.
Wow, so it's losing you more?
That's very
really
interesting.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because I thought right now they're really delving into like character development and creating a mythos, and not even just a mythos, world building on a level that we haven't seen on like a late night soap opera in forever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I like it.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
But I feel you, Toku Kid. If it's not what you signed up for, then you can easily, like lose interest. In it,
But it's kind of like, well, what did you sign up for when it's Riverdale?
Well, maybe
you signed up
for Archie not knowing who he wanted to bone next.
Well,
okay?
yeah, no, you did.
So-
You signed up for the salaciousness. You signed up for the lascivious kind of acts of youth. You also signed up for a little bit of whodunit and mystery. That's how it started off at the beginning. So we always want that. You signed up for knowing that there's going to be a character arc and everything else, but also what is the big question?
Yeah.
For the season. So it's like we're getting it, but maybe I can understand how it's like right now at the moment it's not exactly what he wanted. But it seems like he really does want the zombie apocalypse.
Josh has made a wonderful suggestion.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Josh. The zombie apocalypse.
Wakes
up from a coma and finds out that he's in the zombie apocalypse. And he has a son named Coral. Coral. That's it. Sounds like Coral because that's what it is.
We got some positive reviews here, though. Ryan Earl Thomas gave it 7 ginger snaps.
Ooh.
And Jay's Party Adventures gave it 5.
Give it 5. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, not
liking
bad.
that.
Perfect score.
Right,
not bad.
Andy, I still want to know what you're giving. I see you there in the chat. Shout out to you.
He seemed,
I want to know what
Andy.
I want to know.
He seemed pretty shocked by the episode.
Yeah, right?
It's understandable.
Just
I was
watching
like
the
jaw
episode.
dropping, just like, wow.
Right? I did. I was just like, yo, this show is getting so much better.
Exactly.
Every time I find myself saying that for an episode of the show.
Yeah.
And I've been saying it since last season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm happy and I'm here for it. Every moment I am here for.
Yeah.
You guys have not let me down.
So what you giving it?
So, if I have to give it ginger snaps, I don't want to go off the rails here and just go with a 5. So I'm going to give it a 3.5. I want to kind of...
Oh, wow.
I don't want to set my bar high.
Wow.
Because then later, who knows what I'm going to get next.
Oh, my
and
God.
I expect next episode to be even better than this one.
Yeah.
So that's
A
why I'm giving
3.5.
I really want to give it a 4.5, guys.
Yeah.
But I'm taking back because I don't want to go crazy. 3.5
Andy agreed
for
with
this
you.
one.
He gave it a 3.5
See?
out of 5 too.
3.5 because
Right.
I promise you, next episode, and this is scary, I'm going to say this. Next
It's gonna be even
episode
better.
seems like it may be a 5 ginger snap episode.
Almost.
It may be.
All right. See, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because I'm scaling it, right? Because I'm scaling it. But I think it's been my favorite episode of the season so far. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
I've got to ask Jay what's his obsession with
the Pussycats?
Yeah.
I want to see the
like,
Pussycats.
I want to see the Pussycats.
He's
more.
not wrong.
Do you want
He's
to
not
see
wrong.
them
I
more,
think
or you
they-
just want them to sing? And if you want them to sing, do you want them to sing original stuff or more of
Comic stuff?
Yeah, do you want them to? That's what I'm thinking, right?
Just sing the songs from the animated series.
Yes. I'm like, that's what you want.
That's what we deserve.
Or do you want them to just do covers?
No, not covers.
Okay.
They gotta sing original stuff or
Yeah.
stuff from the animated series.
Yeah.
But I miss the Pussycats.
Yeah,
The Pussycats.
yeah.
I was about to call them Pussycat dolls every time.
I
miss the Pussycats. True.
Yeah, true.
I miss
true.
Josie being a part of them.
Yes.
But alas, I think that they're not
You
to
know
be.
what? Hey, every Beyonce has to know to step away.
That's true.
And that's what she's doing right now.
Unless she joins the Archies when it finally happens. Like when we got that taste of the Archies, which I did not talk about last week. I forgot to mention that.
That's true.
We got that taste.
We
with
did.
The friends,
Just a little bit.
with the friend
Yeah,
heads, which is
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
But I want to see that in the real time.
Well, I mean,
You know?
we'll see.
Veronica can sing, Josie can
Yes.
sing, Archie can sing. The rest of them can just half-heartedly play instruments. Done.
Half-heartedly play instruments. I would love that to be the case. But they're just like, they just showed up and they're like, all right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. I mean, and Veronica would like bark and whatever. They'd be like, I don't know what y'all are doing right now, but what you're gonna do is help Archie start his band.
This is what's gonna happen.
Exactly.
My man needs to start his band, and it's gonna happen. I'm funding it, and I need you, Beyonce. So let's bring it in, and then that's how it becomes a big thing.
Yep.
And then iHeartRadio was started. I don't know. It could be something like that. It's possible.
Yep.
But honestly, oh, there it goes. Look at that band.
Yes.
Look at that.
It's what we deserve.
Is it?
It's what I deserve to inflict on everyone else.
Yeah, I think so, because I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of the band. I'm sorry, I'm not.
Why are
I don't
you
think
like
Veronica really can sing. It's a lot of auto-tune when she did.
Well, that's true. That's
Archie,
true.
dear God. Archie,
Leave
yes,
Archie
sweetheart.
alone.
No, Archie, you know what Archie should leave alone? The music. That's what he should do. Get rid of his. Do what your dad
sounds
did.
better when he's not Archie. It's
do
really
what your
weird.
do what your dad did. Sell that guitar and figure out that you need to go into the family business or
You need to
something
go
like
into
that or
construction.
blah blah.
Construct those abs.
There you go. Well,
All right.
talking about those abs, that was a great scene where she was like, I recognize those abs.
Yes,
anywhere.
that's love. That's true love right there. This
is that
why
true love?
This is why Archie's the best, because she can recognize those abs anywhere.
Once again, it's not every time people say it too. I get there's no such thing as love at first sight. There's lust at first sight.
Of course.
Because it's sight. That's what it is. You can't just say, "Oh, I love someone off of how they look," so you want to according to how they look.
Well,
so,
she learned how dumb Archie was, and she still loves him.
She did.
So?
But then is he dumb because he's 15? He's not stupid. Like with that whole jailbreak, I was looking like, this looks like something to. Oh my God, he is 15. That's what I was gonna say. So it's like, never mind. Okay, that makes sense. Where he's like, all right, the electricity goes
he's
off.
probably a little
well,
older.
now
He's
he's
probably
17.
17
But when
now.
the show started, he was 15.
All right,
So yeah, but he's 17. He's not that smart, guys. We've seen him
Poor
go.
baby.
We've seen him go from that weird moment in adolescence, losing his virginity, and now going to jail. I mean, he's lived a full life. He's lived a full life. So
right.
I think we're pretty much done with him.
Yes. And done with this episode.
Yes, I think we
and
are.
Thank you guys so much for joining us at this late hour.
Yes, we appreciate it. Tell your friends, share this video out with as many people as possible. If you happen to be part of any Riverdale groups, go ahead and share this video there. Trust me, people like it. I can tell because the rewatches are pretty high. So make sure you share it out with as many people as possible.
We are very appealing people.
We
and
are.
You should share us with your friends.
We are. Look at us.
Yeah, and go to the hashtagshow.com.
Oh, yes, that's right.
In order to read news,
Oh, you can read
reviews.
all the news and any info concerning Riverdale and anything else you might like. If you like Power Rangers, you like comics, you like anything else that's coming out, you can get that information right there, and usually you'll get it before anyone else. So you'll be the cool person at the water cooler, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You'll be
All
the
right.
coolest person
And
on
then
the
you
block.
can keep the conversation going with our Facebook pages. We do have a Gingerdale Facebook page. You can go there. It's Gingerdale or Riverdale After Show, and we'll keep the conversation going there. You can also go to THS Hashtaggers and keep the conversation going there as well. Bring friends. Tell everybody else to start checking it out. So with that, I think it's best to tell everyone to make sure that they like, comment, and subscribe. But before they do that, I think they want to know where they can find you.
Ooh, well, you can find me here tomorrow night
Okay.
on Superhero News Network. Yeah.
That's right.
At that hashtag show. And you can also check out podcasts like the
yes.
Flash podcast
There
if
you
you're
go.
into DCTV.
There you
And
go.
Ladies with Gumption if you're into women on DCTV who have gumption.
Okay, I was like, that pause was awkward.
I was
like, if
you
you're
have
into
to be
women,
into
I was
women in
like,
the first place. If you don't like, if you're not interested in hearing about girls, then don't talk about it.
okay, I was like, where are you going with
Where do
this?
you think I was going with
Feminists
it?
are going to punch me in the face
That
for
I was
allowing you
going-
to say that. If you just stopped right there, like, if you're into women, I was like, I'm not okay with this.
I
No,
meant
no,
it in
but
the feminist way,
exactly,
obviously.
which I do appreciate. I definitely understand. And for myself, if you're looking to find me, you can find me here on Gingerdale. You'll also find me on Saturdays at the Ranger Wrap Up, and of course on Sundays on the Retro Ranger Wrap Up. So that's where you'll find me right here on this channel. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for this channel to stay up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.